One take.
All right.
You remember how we do it, right?
Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I'm Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged in to Social Plug Media, where we connect you level up. Welcome to the Rise and Win Show, where we highlight and promote small business owners and realtors today to level up. I got my man, Yitzhak Pierson. What's going on, Yitzhak?
Hey, good morning, Johnny. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here today.
Yep, dude, you're looking pretty fit. You probably just came out of the gym.
I did, yes,
Probably.
this morning. Yeah, yeah.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah, that's part of what keeps me going every day, just getting in there, getting some movement. Went home, showered, hopped on some meetings, did some trainings, and now I'm here.
My man, so you had like this crazy longevity. How many times you've gone to the gym? You had like this.
Oh yeah, over 3.5 years. It was over 1,200 days, and
Did that end?
yeah, it ended, but I still go 6 days a week, and I try
Okay.
to take one day off. It's hard to, once you build that habit, it's hard to like force yourself to slow down. I'm doing it mostly because I had an injury on my Achilles tendon, so it's been good in trying to get me to rest and enjoy life more. So there's still discipline in trying to rest. Rather, I was disciplined for so long and going, and I built the habit, and now it's like, I think different levels, you have different devils. And so like every iteration of my business, now I've got a little bit more success. I have things flowing more freely and, more recognition, more accolades. And so instead of just trying to be focused on a destination, really trying to enjoy the journey, build more habits of rest and recuperation into my life,
Right.
because that's part of what created the injury. It's like I don't regret having gone that hard and done that many days in a row. But now it's just like the older I'm getting, more about longevity, sustainability, always looking from a macro level at what I'm doing in my life and business, and seeing where I can tweak things just to have better results for the long term.
Absolutely, man. So I'm going to brag on you, Yitzhak. So I've known you for a while, man, and you're a mainstay in the community and in the gym, right? And you've been improving ever since I've met you. Every single day, every single year, every month. I mean, you have a great story. If you guys want to hear a story, you can reach back out on Social Plug Media. The Social Plug Podcast tells your personal story. So you're no stranger to our platform, and you're no stranger to success in New Braunfels. So you have back-to-back best of New Braunfels in the real estate category, specifically the best realtor.
Yes.
So you have been voted the best realtor twice in a row, man, and you're going for your third.
Yes.
Right? But when you're the best realtor, it's beyond real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real estate is just on the surface stuff, right? That's just what you do. But there's a lot of reps, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Reps not only in the community, but in people's lives. You are building legacy. You're helping these people invest in not only a home, but a life.
Absolutely.
Together. And you've helped several families this year already, and we're only, 4 months in?
Yeah.
But you've helped a lot of people throughout your tenure here in New Braunfels. And I don't know if you started off as a realtor here in New Braunfels, but you have definitely made a footprint. You're big on social media. You are not afraid to be on camera. You are getting confidence, and your confidence is showing by being out in the community. You're looking not only fit, your presentation is where it needs to be, but your presentation is also as an influencer, man. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
So you mentioned getting education.
Yeah.
So I know you post a lot about being educated and getting these classes knocked out, because you can't be the best of, or you can't be a professional if you're not educated on what you're doing,
yeah.
right? And so I'm always not only honored to have you here today, but I'm always watching you and watching others. I love seeing people grow and helping others grow, and you're doing that, man.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about how like your daily routine in real estate is.
I'm always trying to stay up to date on the market. I'm heavily involved with our real estate board, and that's what also I get insights from the real estate community, being involved at the state level, national level, but locally, going to events, keeping a pulse on what the market is doing here locally. Nationally, it has some relevance, but a lot of the things going on in the world don't directly affect our day-to-day market here. And so really going to realtor events, typically one of our friends, winos, we're into networking opportunities. agents present their listings that have been sitting more than 30 days to kind of get feedback on what we're seeing from other professionals. Right. So going to local events to see what homes are doing. Every time the local statistics come out, studying those market statistics so that I know what I'm talking about. We have about 5.2 months of inventory right now. Knowing how to explain that to clients. If no more homes were listed on the market today, it would take about 5 months to sell all of the homes that are currently on the market. Breaking things down in simple terms for people to understand. My goal is to educate and empower my clients and my audience so that they feel confident throughout the process. I'm there to guide them, but I'm there to provide information with them so that they have everything they need to make the right decision for their futures, whether they're buying or selling. With the current market, we're seeing more resale homes sitting for longer. You need to have your home in more pristine condition, better photography, marketing. You need to tell the story about the home of what makes it different from the 100 other homes in that neighborhood that it's competing against. And then with new construction sales in our area makes up about 35% of what's selling right now. So they're competing against new construction. If they're in a neighborhood that's built within the last 5 years, there may still be homes being sold new in that neighborhood. So all of this information is vital to having your clients be able to get the most for their property when they sell, positioning it well so that it attracts. Right now I say if it's not a deal or a diamond, it's not really moving. If it's just a generic house, if you haven't done updates to it or improved some of the cosmetics, some of the deferred maintenance, then it's going to sit there for typically longer. Average days on market right now in our area is about 120. So my goal is to always beat that statistic, get it sold for them quicker. And, the statistic just came out nationally that it's 52% of homes have been on the market for 60 days or longer. So that's 1 in 2 homes is sitting there for more than 2 months. And setting those expectations with sellers from the beginning of letting them know, hey, here's what's currently happening, so don't be shocked or surprised. We're going to try and beat those stats for you, but this is just where we're at in the market. And the more that we can educate that process, the less anxiety and fear that we mitigate that for our clients.
Right. And that's all important information. So a lot of sellers need to know, and they have to be able to trust the realtor with the information, because there's a lot of resources, ChatGPT and Zillow, and a lot of people trust these online resources, which is okay. Some of the information is accurate, but some of it is not accurate. And people like you go out there and you do your research and your analytics and all this, and you have to make sure price is the key. Location is another factor.
Absolutely.
And the condition of the home. You said all 3 of those, right? Upgrades. I know there's some sellers that bought the house 4 years ago and they want to sell it for $50,000 more in the same exact condition. You have to upgrade cabinets. You have to upgrade maybe the bathroom or the flooring, things like that. That's going to help you sell. Solar panels might not help you sell, right?
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother topic. A pool might not be able to help you sell. It might be more of a detriment. So we have to educate these sellers on being realistic and what the market is dictating. Price right now is one of the heftiest things, and a lot of sellers aren't in the position to break even or to even come close to that, because there are fees and closing costs and things affiliated with that. So professionals like yourself have to be able to help them mitigate and give them scenarios where they can make the most money. Because I mean, we got to talk about the sellers making money in these situations. You don't want them to lose money.
Absolutely.
Because if they're going to lose money, then you're probably going to have them rent or do other options, right? So they can continue to build equity. Typically, equity starts bidding on a home after 3 years on average. Is that about accurate?
Yeah, I always say 3 to 5 years. I mean, if you really go 5 to 7 years, that's every individual's situation is unique. So having those conversations up front of how long do you plan to stay in this home? Is this going to be, things happen. You can't always always know where the future is going to lead you, but do you plan to stay in this 3 to 5 years, or are you planning to start a family? If you decide to sell, are you willing to turn this into a rental? So going down that rabbit hole with them to help them think of scenarios that they may not have thought about yet really helps them figure out if they're going to be able to build equity in this house, talking about interest rates or buy downs or things like that.
Absolutely.
Down payment assistance programs, those are not for everybody. It's not a one size fits all approach. So really diving deep with your clients and understanding what their plans are for the future.
Yep. And being a realtor is not an end all be all. You have to be able to build relationships with lenders,
Absolutely.
with third party home inspectors, with appraisers, with title companies, all these kind of things. So how has that helped you out in your business?
Tremendously. I mean, it's an art and a science being a good realtor. You can have all of the analytics, you can know all of the numbers, but if you don't have partners that you're able to lean on, you got to stay in your lane with what you know, and then leverage those partnerships with your lenders and your title home warranty representatives. You got to be able to know the whole process on the ins and outs, but you don't got to be the number one expert for every one of those things. So I work in collaboration with my lender in order to find out what's the most important thing for my buyers, and then we work in collaboration to formulate the offer on the terms that are most likely going to be accepted, and it's going to be in the best favor of my buyer.
So Yitzhak, do you enjoy the buying process or the selling process more?
I kind of go where the market is. I've been more of a buyer's agent. I really enjoy helping people, especially first-time home buyers, get into their first homes. I work with a lot of investors, so helping them to build generational wealth. That's why I got into real estate, was for the investing side of it. So I'm very buyer-heavy in this market. It's great to be a buyer's agent. There's a lot of opportunity, so a lot of exciting conversations. But I'm leaning more into the listing side now, always trying to refine and get better at doing that side of the business. I've had several listings over the years, a lot of great successes. We've had some failures too. I've learned a lot. Every time a listing doesn't sell or the sellers decide to pull it off of the market because they weren't able to break even, I'm always evaluating, okay, what can I learn from this situation going into the next situation? I had one where I lost a listing. It went to another agent, and the only things that they really did different was in-person staging. I had done some virtual staging, and I'll even share this with my clients as stories of why these are so vitally important. Staging consulting, making sure that the home looks pristine for the photographs. I say right now, buyers are swiping through Zillow and Realtor.com like a dating profile. If they don't like what they see right off the bat, they're not going to schedule to go see it in person. So
The home's got to look sexy.
absolutely, yes, definitely. And those are some of the things that I've learned. On the listing side, I'm constantly iterating, and both sides, I'm wanting to have an overall smooth client journey from start to finish, where I'm always telling them, hey, here's what's happening next, here's what to expect next, so that they're not left in the dark or feeling anxiety about what they don't know what's going on. So that's part of my priority with my clients, is to always make sure that they feel informed and educated about the process.
Is today's market more of a buyer's or seller's market?
I would say it's more buyer leaning. If you look based off of the months of inventory, it's supposed to be more of a balanced market, but there's more opportunity for buyers to get price reductions, seller concessions, title policy paid, all of these things that are extra fees that you may not think about. Buyers have a lot of opportunity just because homes are sitting for longer. So I love being a buyer's agent, and I think that's where the market is right now.
Right, absolutely. Remember 21, 22, it was definitely on the other side, where
seller's market.
there was auctions going on, the highest bidder and bring your best offer and those kind of things.
Yeah.
Those aren't typically happening right now. So it is a little tougher for sellers, and they just have to be understanding of the market, and hopefully it shifts the other way to make it more balanced. But you're absolutely right. Right now is a buyer-heavy market. They have the options of new build, pre-owned. They have their pick of the litter on a lot of options.
Because of that, like, people want to focus on the interest rate, and that's just one metric involved in it. And I try to take people off of that specific metric. It's like we have so many other opportunities. There's so many ways that you can get into a home regardless of the interest rate. So being able to educate about all of those alternative ways, getting interest rate buy downs, getting seller concessions, new construction who've already bought blocks of mortgages and they have low interest rates, but even working with a lender and working with a builder who you could bring in your own lender, and we could still get money to buy down the interest rate. So it's seeing what I had a case recently where I got them more money. We were able to buy them more home warranties for the future. Like it was a really great opportunity for these buyers.
Absolutely, man. You're spot on. So I consider you a marketer as well. You're not only a realtor, you're a marketer and influencer. How has your marketing game improved, and how has it helped you today?
So when I first got in the business, it was just focused on video. Now with AI and how it's come into play, video is one part of your marketing wheel. So I do email marketing, just in-person networking, being belly to belly with people, being involved in organizations in the community. That's a form of marketing. AI has just changed the game. So something that I've been focused on recently is blog posts, writing blogs about the neighborhoods in my community, educating people on what it's like to live in the city that I live in, what it's like working with a realtor, or some of the things that you should be looking out for. So I've gone real blog heavy, more so for AI basically sends crawlers out there to search the web for information, and the more repetitive that information is from one person or one source or multiple sources, that's what it's going to feed people, because they're asking it like a trusted advisor, hey, who's the best real estate agent in New Braunfels? Who should I choose as my real estate agent for new construction or for being a buyer's agent? And it's been an area that I've focused on, just my full online digital resume. So that's how it's changed. Very blessed to got one of my first buyers recently off of AI. His AI agent recommended him to me. He had tried out another agent, and they just weren't as responsive as he'd like. So he went out searching, used Claude, and started asking it information, and recommended me, and he asked more information. He booked a call on my calendar, and we went and looked at a house within a short amount of time, and hopefully we're going to have him under contract on something soon.
Heck yeah, man. So the power of social media and the power of AI helps business owners. So
Absolutely.
if business owners, if you're out there and you're not using AI and social media, you got to pivot and make sure that you're on it. And if you're a homeowner looking to sell, or a buyer looking to purchase some property, land, real estate of any form, this is the man to go to. Why should people vote for you as the best in New Braunfels 3 years in a row?
So one of the
You knew I was going to ask you that.
yeah. So one of the reasons that I say is because I care. I'm very competent. I'm very analytical. I'm very strategic, but I also care a lot about my clients. And I think the coolest part about winning Best Real Estate Agent over the last couple of years has been, it's purely asking people to vote for me. So it's the fact that I've built enough relationships, and people believe in me enough to take the time. It's something very small, but taking the time out of their day to go put in their information on a website and vote for somebody. We're in a very fast-paced life, so that's been one of the things that has been most impactful. I would love to help you buy or sell a home, but I'd love to be your friend and build a relationship with you more than anything. I like being the source of the source. I like knowing what's going on in New Braunfels, Texas, being able to point you to the right person, connect you with the right person for any resource, anything that you're looking for, whether it's tubing the river, going to Schlitterbahn, finding a nice restaurant to go eat, all of these things, local shopping. That's what I love about this community, is everybody's so willing to support each other. And the support that I've got, being voted best real estate agent, I love to give that support back to the community.
Heck yeah, man. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep helping people. Keep supporting the community, and keep being a damn good resource out there.
Thank you.
So I can't wait to see you in a year from now, 2 years from now. You're going to be even more swole, be more educated, more knowledgeable, and just sky's the limit for you. So where else can we find you besides here at Psalms Hall at Guadalupe Brewing Company today?
Well, stay tuned. Follow me on all social media. I've got podcasts coming out at different various times, always doing interviews. If you want to have me on your podcast, I'm happy to help give you insights, share more of my personal growth and development. I've written a book called Open Doors. You can find all of that on my website at yitzhakpierson.com, YITZCHAKPIERSON.com. Reach out to me at 512-749-6532.
And you're on Facebook and Instagram?
Absolutely. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can just search my name, and I'll pop up all over the place.
Heck yeah. Let's see if you get the best realtor this year. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Keep on winning. For those of you new Braunfels, we love you guys. Thanks for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep rising and keep winning.